Hello classmates! Today I'm going to bring you a fresh review of the new Liam Hemsworth, Milo Ventimiglia, and Russell Crowe modern combat movie, Land of Bad, exclusively in theaters Friday, February 16th. Judging by the trailer, I was expecting a run-of-the-mill action war flick that peppers in some creative use of military drones to update an old recycled plot. What I got, however, was something much more than that. I actually kind of got two movies in one.
You've got yourself a deal.
I got some fantastically executed up-close fight sequences and another super fun Russell Crowe performance that fits right in line with his characters from The Pope's Exorcist and The Greatest Beer Run Ever. Liam Hemsworth plays Kinney, a greenhorn frontline drone handler who joins a special forces mission to provide aerial assistance to order. Oh, and also it's his second actual mission, so he's a total rookie. His other squad mates are played by Milo Ventimiglia, Ricky Whittle, and Liam's real-life brother, Luke Hemsworth. Finney is the babyface standout amongst a squad of hardened badass killers who ends up the sole survivor on the run after their mission goes awry. Russell Crowe's character, Reaper, is the actual drone pilot who's located thousands of miles away back at HQ. He has decades of experience, but he's on the wrong end of his military career, and he's laughing stock of the airmen on base since he fights from behind a computer. He becomes the single guiding light to Kinney as he makes his way back home from behind enemy lines in extremely hostile territory. It's a really interesting take on the whole sole survivor type of war storytelling that could easily feel gimmicky or lame, but here it really seemed to work well. Overall, though, I really enjoyed my time with Land of Bad. The jungle mission segments are legitimately tense, and the fight scenes are fast-paced, creatively choreographed, and the stakes, they really feel real. I can really tell that Milo and Liam trained for the shoot because the action felt appropriately intense. You know how you can tell through creative editing that some actors just don't have what it takes, so they have to pull frames and cut around the fighting, and you don't really get any of that here. It feels very real, feels very earnest. But the biggest surprise of the whole movie was how this tone completely shifts when the movie cuts back to Reaper. So back home, he's dealing with young, dumb co-workers who don't really even want to answer the phone while Reaper is plugged into his mission, and Reaper's waiting for an important phone call. The mundane aspect of the things that he worries about back home is kind of ridiculous. It's like if Nedry from Jurassic Park and Milton from Office Space had a child who grew up to be a badass drone pilot in the Air Force. Now you got Russell Crowe's character of Reaper. The trailers won't show you that part of the story, but I think that's what makes the movie stand out from the large swath of modern war movies that you have to choose from. While Finney's being waterboarded by enemy forces, Reaper is grocery shopping or fighting with his young co-workers. He's also preoccupied because someone else is manning the drone while he's not on the clock. And he's really worried about his man that's stranded. But he's really worried about the first-year recruits that keep unplugging that damn phone. So that's the nature of his character, and it may actually be the unintentionally my favorite comedy of the year. Now, all that sounds like a slight to this movie, but I can assure you that it's not. I'm sure that writer-director Will Eubank meant Reaper's part of the story to show that while we're living our daily lives back home, worrying about what we think is important, our troops are dealing with much bigger problems in the name of freedom, or something like that. I could see that, but really the whiplash in tone between the two completely different movies that you're watching really adds to the enjoyment of it all, in my opinion. Eubanks has directed a few movies that I really love, like The Signal and Underwater more recently, which both took some risks in the direction, so I'm not really surprised the approach that he took here with Land of Bad. All in all, this was a seriously intense movie at times with some much needed levity that did not make me regret my hour and 50 minutes of time spent. It made me appreciate Milo Ventimiglia even more than I already do, and it added another weird and wonderful character to the pantheon of recent Russell Crowe performances. Liam Hemsworth is just a little too pretty to buy at times, but I think that might be the point because his character Finney really goes through some shit and comes out a changed man. And that part I did believe. The problem with Land of Bad is, number one, the name stinks. They're just asking to get dragged in press. I mean, what are they thinking? Land of Bad? It's right there. Land of Bad, this movie's bad, whatever. Number two, I'm not sure who's gonna love this one. I think a lot of people are gonna like it, at least a little, but I don't know who's gonna love it. It's a little too goofy for diehard war movie nuts to respect, and it's too intense and serious for someone who wants a campy Commando or Predator style action flick. Then again, I hope I'm wrong because Land of Bad was delightfully bizarre and fun, and I hope that everyone watching this checks it out. So there you have it, YouTube. I'm giving Land of Bad an A-. Seek it out in theaters for some intense, mindless violence, and of course, for the great Russell Crowe. Like this video and subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments just how wrong I am about Land of Bad.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.